In a world full of noise and distraction, there are some women whose hearts shine with a special light, hidden marks that set them apart in ways the eye cannot see. These signs aren't about what meets the eye, but about the soul's connection to Allah, strength in silence, and beauty rooted in faith. We will uncover why only the chosen women have these 7 hidden marks, qualities that make them truly unique and beloved in Islam. These marks guide them through life with peace, patience, and purpose, inspiring everyone around them without even trying. 1. They protect their modesty with their heart first. There is something powerful and deeply spiritual about a woman who protects her modesty not just with fabric but with her heart. She understands that modesty is more than an outfit. It is a reflection of the soul. A chosen woman guards herself with a mindset that knows who she is in the sight of Allah. She doesn't need to prove her worth to anyone because her self-respect is rooted in something far beyond human judgment. When the world pushes trends that tell her to expose herself to feel beautiful, she steps back. Not because she is afraid of being seen, but because she understands that her value does not depend on how many people notice her. She chooses to remain unseen for the sake of being honored by the one who sees everything. Her modesty is not an act of weakness. It is an act of strength. It is her quiet way of saying, I belong to Allah, not the world. This type of modesty starts long before she dresses in the morning. It begins in her heart. She watches what she allows into her eyes, her ears, and her thoughts. She doesn't just lower her gaze physically, she also lowers her desires to match the standards of the Quran. She watches her words because she knows that true modesty is also in how she speaks. She doesn't use her tongue to flirt or to bring attention to herself. Her words are calm, respectful, and sincere. When she walks, she doesn't walk to impress, but to reach a destination. She doesn't decorate herself to attract glances, but to honor the soul that Allah has given her. The outside world may never understand her choices. She may be mocked or questioned, but that never bothers her because she knows who she is. She knows who she is trying to please. The reward for this kind of woman is beyond imagination. She lives a quiet life, but her silence is full of wisdom. Her dress may be simple, but her heart is dressed with light. She might not be famous on earth, but she is known among the angels. A chosen woman today takes inspiration from them. She is not ashamed of her modesty. She is proud of it. She sees it as her power, her protection, her identity. In a world where everyone is trying to be seen, she finds peace in being hidden because she knows her value is not for everyone to witness. It is reserved for the one who created her. Modesty gives her peace. It saves her from the pressure of always trying to look perfect. It frees her from the noise of comparison. It protects her from hearts that only want her image and not her soul. And above all, it brings her closer to Allah. Every time she chooses a modest outfit over a fashionable one, every time she lowers her gaze when others are staring, every time she walks away from attention she could have easily had, she earns the love of Allah, and that love brings her more happiness than the applause of the entire world. This is not about hiding, this is about shining differently. This is about honoring the soul over the skin. And this is why only a chosen woman has this kind of modesty, not because she's forced to, but because her heart is deeply connected to the one who made her. 2. They feel Allah's presence in moments of loneliness. There are women who smile in public but carry storms in silence. Their hearts have been tested, their souls stretched, and their nights long. But even in the most painful moments of loneliness, they find a warmth that cannot be explained. That warmth is the nearness of Allah. A chosen woman does not fear being alone. While many feel empty without company, she feels full when the world is quiet. and the world's noise fades. Her peace does not come from people, it comes from her connection with the one who never leaves. Her comfort is not in crowds, it's in the calm she finds when she speaks to Allah. She understands that loneliness is not always a punishment, sometimes it is a gift, a space given by Allah to return to Him without distractions, a moment to reflect, to cry, to whisper what she cannot say to anyone else. These are sacred moments where her heart softens and her soul speaks truth. This kind of woman may not have many around her. She may be misunderstood, forgotten, or even left behind. But she never truly feels abandoned. She knows that her Creator is closer than her own breath. She doesn't see loneliness as an emptiness. She sees it as an invitation. An invitation to come closer to the one who knows every tear before it falls. While others feel anxious when alone, she feels secure. Because when the world forgets her, she remembers that Allah never does. In those quiet hours of the night, when the house is still and the world is asleep, she raises her hands and feels heard. Her du'as are not decorated with fancy words, but they are soaked in sincerity. And that is what Allah loves. She understands that not everyone is meant to stay. Friendships may fade, families may be distant, people may disappoint, but Allah remains constant. She doesn't chase people to fill her emptiness. She runs to sujood, where peace flows from her forehead to the floor. She pours out her heart in prayer, and she feels lighter, even if nothing around her changes. Her strength comes from this invisible companionship with her Lord. She walks with dignity, not because she has it all figured out, but because she knows who is holding her hand through it all. When life feels heavy, she turns inward and finds a quiet place to just be with Allah. And somehow, that moment makes her stronger than ever before. This type of connection is not built overnight. It is built through heartbreaks that pushed her toward the prayer mat. It is built through days of silence where she had no one to talk to but Allah. It is built through every time she said, Ya Allah, with a broken voice and felt a peace she couldn't explain. She no longer fears the silence. She welcomes it because in silence, she hears His guidance more clearly. She begins to love solitude, not because she dislikes people, but because she has tasted the sweetness of being alone with her Creator. This woman walks a path few can understand. She doesn't need the noise of social media, the constant messaging, or the validation of others to feel alive. Her heart is alive because it beats with zikr. Her face glows not from makeup, but from the light of faith. She isn't bitter about being alone. She's blessed by it. And that is why Allah honors her. He allows her to feel His presence when others feel forgotten. He gives her a deep calm in a world full of restlessness. He listens when no one else does. He strengthens her silently, shaping her into someone the world may not notice, but the heavens surely do. 3. They choose forgiveness over revenge. Some wounds go deeper than words. Some betrayals shake the heart in ways that silence cannot explain. And yet, there are women who, even after being wronged, choose to forgive. Not because they are weak, but because they are strong enough to let go of the burden. These women are not led by anger. They are guided by mercy. A chosen woman carries a heart that has been broken, but not hardened. She knows what it feels like to be hurt, lied to, abandoned, and disrespected. She knows the weight of betrayal and the sting of injustice, but still she looks at those who caused her pain and chooses peace over punishment. Her soul seeks freedom, not revenge. Forgiveness for her is not forgetting what happened. It's remembering it with wisdom, not hatred. It's choosing not to let the pain control her life. It's deciding that her peace is more important than carrying someone else's mistake on her shoulders. This doesn't mean she ignores the wrong. No, it means she acknowledges it, learns from it, and hands it over to Allah. She understands that every injustice, every harsh word, every broken promise is seen by the one who never sleeps. And she trusts that Allah is the most just of all judges. There is a quiet power in the woman who forgives. She doesn't scream for revenge. She doesn't plot or backbite. She doesn't try to make others feel what she felt. Instead, she kneels down in prayer and says, Ya Allah, you saw what happened. I leave it to you. That simple act of surrender makes her heart lighter and her soul stronger. People may think she is soft. They may say she's too kind or too forgiving. But what they don't see is the strength it takes to heal without hate. They don't see the inner battle she fights to protect her heart from bitterness. They don't see the late night tears that fall into sujood. But Allah sees. And that is enough for her. She knows that revenge might satisfy the ego for a moment, but forgiveness brings peace that lasts. She knows that holding a grudge is like holding fire. It burns only the one who carries it. So she lets go, not because they deserve it, but because she deserves to be free. Her forgiveness doesn't mean she invites people to hurt her again. It doesn't mean she ignores justice or allows abuse. It means she draws her boundaries with wisdom, but removes hatred from her heart. She protects her peace without carrying poison. She uses her past pain as a ladder towards spiritual growth. What once broke her now builds her. She becomes a woman who radiates calmness, not because life has been easy, but because she made a decision to not let pain turn her cold. Her energy becomes healing for others. She becomes a place of safety, not destruction. And this is what sets her apart. This is why she is chosen. Because she turns pain into prayer. She turns wounds into wisdom. She chooses the harder path, forgiveness, knowing that it leads to eternal ease. In her heart, there is a garden growing. Every time she forgives, a flower blooms. And one day, when she meets her Lord, that garden will be full of light, because she watered it with patience, sincerity, and mercy. For they respect their time and don't waste it. Time is like a river. It flows in one direction and never comes back. Every second that passes is a part of our life that we can never get again. A chosen woman understands this deeply. She sees time not just as hours on a clock, but as an opportunity given by Allah to do good, to grow, and to get closer to Him. She doesn't take her day for granted. She wakes up knowing that every morning is a gift. She doesn't live on autopilot, just doing things out of habit. She is intentional. Whether it's reading a few pages of the Quran, praying on time, helping her family, learning something new, or simply resting with purpose, her time is filled with meaning. While others may scroll endlessly through their phones or waste hours in useless talk, she protects her minutes like a treasure. She knows that once it's gone, it's gone. And on the day of judgment, she will be asked about every moment, how she spent it, how she used it, and what she did with the life Allah gave her. She doesn't need a perfect routine to be productive. Her success is not measured by how busy she is, but by how intentional she is. Her focus is on quality, not just quantity. She gives time to her salah without rushing. She gives time to herself to reflect and grow. She gives time to her loved ones with full presence. Even in rest, she is thoughtful. She doesn't waste hours in laziness, but understands that rest is also a form of worship when it's done to renew strength. She uses her quiet moments to remember Allah, to make zikr, or simply to sit in peace and gratitude. Her life is not noisy, but it is full. She is not perfect, but she always tries to improve. She knows time is her soul. Every minute reflects her priorities. That's why she avoids useless gossip, arguments, and things that bring no benefit. She doesn't allow herself to be dragged into other people's drama. She values her energy. She values her purpose. This mindset doesn't come overnight. It is built through discipline, self-awareness, and faith. She reminds herself that life is short and that Jannah is the ultimate goal. That's why she moves with focus and doesn't let the world distract her. This respect for time makes her different. She becomes more focused, more peaceful. She doesn't chase the world because she is chasing something higher, Allah's pleasure. She doesn't try to do everything at once. She picks what matters most and she gives it her heart. She becomes a woman of purpose. Her days are not perfect, but they are meaningful. She may not always be busy, but she is never careless. She chooses what benefits her soul over what entertains her for a moment. Her life becomes like a well-organized garden. Every moment is a seed. And because she plants those seeds with care, her days bloom with blessing. Even small actions bring big rewards because they are done with sincerity. And when she is gone, people will remember her as someone who lived with value, with presence, with clarity, because every second she spent was an act of worship, a step toward Allah, and a sign that she respected the precious gift of time. 5. They don't let pain make them hard. Pain has a way of changing people. It can turn smiles into silence and warmth into walls. It can make hearts guarded and eyes dry. But among all the people in the world, there are women who have walked through fire and still carry water for others. They are soft, not because life was kind to them, but because they chose not to become like the pain that hurt them. A chosen woman doesn't allow pain to turn her heart bitter. Yes, she has suffered. Yes, she has been let down, disappointed, and even broken at times. But every time life tried to harden her, she held on to her light. She refused to let the darkness change who she was. Instead, she used her pain as a reason to grow, not a reason to hate. Her softness is not a weakness. It is a powerful choice. She could have shut the world out. She could have stopped caring. But she didn't. She continued to love. She continued to give. She continued to believe that goodness still exists. Even when she saw the worst in people. When someone broke her trust, she didn't stop trusting in Allah. When someone hurt her deeply, she didn't pass that hurt on to others. Instead, she poured it into her dua. She cried not to people, but to her Lord. She turned her pain into prostration. And from that pain, she rose, not with anger, but with wisdom. She understands that life is a test, and every difficulty is a step closer to her Lord if she remains patient. She doesn't let the harshness of this world shape her heart. She lets the mercy of Allah do that. She doesn't use her wounds to destroy others. She uses them to heal herself. People might think she's too soft, too emotional, too forgiving, but what they don't see is the battle inside her, a battle to keep her heart kind in a world that keeps trying to harden it. They don't see the strength it takes to stay gentle when you have every reason to be cruel. When life tests her again and again, she bends, but she doesn't break. She allows herself to feel, to cry, to rest, but she never allows herself to become cold. She finds power in compassion. She finds peace in patience, and she finds strength in surrendering her pain to Allah. The softness becomes her legacy. She raises others through her gentleness. She heals with her words, comforts with her presence, and inspires with her faith. People feel safe around her because she does not judge from a place of hurt, but from a place of healing. This doesn't mean her life is without struggle. It means She has decided not to let struggle define her. She lives with a heart that still hopes, that still believes, that still sees beauty in life, even after facing so much pain. That is the mark of a chosen woman. She carries her wounds with dignity. She turns pain into power. And she walks through the world like a quiet storm, calm on the outside, but full of strength within. 6. They make dua for others in secret. There's something truly special about a woman who lifts her hands, not just for herself, but for others. In the quiet of her room with no one watching, she whispers names only Allah knows. She prays not for attention or praise, but from a heart filled with love and care. This is one of the hidden qualities of a chosen woman. She makes dua for others in secret. She might not have the loudest voice in a gathering or be known by many, but her prayers shake the heavens. She may never tell the people she's praying for, but her duas reach their lives in ways they can't explain. Maybe a friend suddenly feels peace, maybe a relative finds healing, and maybe someone far away feels hopeful again because she remembered them in her prayers. This kind of dua is sincere, it's pure, it's full of light. She doesn't need recognition. She doesn't wait to be thanked. Her heart is simply full of compassion. She sees someone struggling and quietly asks Allah to make things easier for them. She sees someone growing distant from faith and begs Allah to guide them back. She sees someone smiling but senses their hidden sadness and prays for their healing. The chosen woman understands this secret. That's why she never underestimates a small, quiet dua. She knows that the power of prayer is not in the words, but in the sincerity behind them. She believes that even a whisper from her heart can bring change in someone's life, because it is carried straight to the one who can do all things. This habit of secret prayer shapes her soul. It makes her more thoughtful, more caring, more connected to others. It softens her heart and reminds her that this world is not about competition, it's about compassion. Her heart becomes like a lamp, glowing even in the dark, lighting the way for others with her silent prayers. Even when she is in pain herself, she still finds space to pray for others. Even when her own life feels heavy, she still lifts others up in her supplications. And that is why Allah lifts her. That is why He sends ease into her life in ways no one understands. Because she didn't just pray for herself, she became a source of hope for others. She may be praying for someone who will never know, never say thank you, never even notice. But she is not doing it for them, she's doing it for Allah. She knows that every act of kindness done in secret is loved more by the one who sees everything. 7. They are grateful in all conditions. Gratitude is a quiet power that transforms the heart. It changes how a woman sees her life, not as a list of what is missing, but as a treasure of what she already has. A chosen woman carries this power deep inside her soul. She knows how to be thankful, no matter what her situation looks like on the outside. This kind of gratitude is not always easy. It takes courage to say thank you when everything feels like it's falling apart. It takes strength to smile when your dreams are delayed or changed. But a chosen woman chooses to see beyond the moment. She knows that life is a test, and gratitude is her weapon to fight despair. She looks around and finds reasons to be thankful even in small things. The breath she takes, the food she eats, the roof over her head, the quiet moments of peace. She counts these as blessings. She understands that everything is from Allah, and that recognizing this gift is the beginning of true happiness. Her heart does not race after the world's endless desires. She does not compare her life to others' Instagram posts or what she hears in the news. She focuses on her own journey, and she fills it with gratitude for what she has right now. A chosen woman lives by this verse. She knows that her thankfulness invites more goodness into her life. She doesn't wait for perfect conditions to start being grateful. She begins now, exactly where she is. Her gratitude makes her life richer, even if her wealth is simple. It fills her heart with joy, even when sadness is near. It builds her patience when her plans don't work out. And it connects her closer to Allah, because a thankful heart is always connected. Because she is grateful, she becomes a source of happiness for others. Her smile is genuine. Her words are kind. She lifts people up simply because she sees blessings everywhere, even in the hardest moments. This is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It is about choosing to focus on what is good despite the pain. It is about remembering that Allah's plan is perfect, even if we don't understand it.